Hello farmers, Trevor here, and I am starting a new series on the Canadian National Map V2. And I'm going to try to not edit it too much so that I imagine this guy's going to come out with new ones and don't really need to be redoing the map. It's a very flat map. Let's take a look at it real quick. Not sure. Let's go to some place that it's easy to see. Yeah, here in the shade, just like a cell phone, huh? In real life. All right. If you notice, I don't know if you guys have ever played this map or not, but in the original, you own all of the fields, and I decided to undo that. So what I did was go into the economy.xml and change player owned to false, and then I also associated an NPC with each of the fields. So this field here, where is it? Over here. Let's just walk over there or run. So if we come here and hit R, you can see we can now do a mission for this guy. But I am not going to start out that way. What I want to do is the person who made this map, at least V2, V1 had a bunch of equipment in it, the first version. The second version, we're going to take a ride on down. And if you notice, I now have a head tracker. So, you know, you'll have to forgive me if the camera moves around in goofy ways. If I look down to hit a key, that's what happens. Hopefully you guys can forgive that aspect, but if you're considering doing your own head tracker, you can get a feel for what's going on. Let's get this map back. See, there I go. So I'm going to turn down here and head all the way down south. Now I'm going to try to do, I'm not going to run around the map, but I am going to try to actually drive to where I'm working as a general statement. Obviously, sometimes I need to bring or will need to bring multiple pieces of equipment over to an area, and then I'll probably teleport at that point. But if I'm going to work for the day down here at the forestry area, I will drive over there type thing. At least that being. So I'm going to try to make it a little more realistic than I made my other maps or other series. Though realism is not key to this experience. It's just seeing how this head tracking works and if it's worth it. What I also did was I figure we're in Canada and we've shown up here with no loans, so I took care of it's a normal difficulty. I don't have any loans outstanding, and I only have a little bit of equipment though. I don't have any farming equipment. All I have is what you see right here. So I figure we can start pretty simply. And again, first when I got into the map, I noticed the guy had just given us some forestry equipment. I thought, I've never started a map just with a couple pieces of forestry equipment. I actually sold off some of the stuff that he would have gotten. I also edited the money to give myself $7,352 more than I would have had without that. So all we have is this loader and that old pickup truck and this, and we'll see if we can't cut down enough trees to buy some fields. Even though I put the NPCs on there, I'm debating whether or not I'll even let myself do any missions. They're a little bit overpowered in my opinion. So I'm going to back this guy up. I'm going to try to use this to yard the wood over to here, and then we'll load it onto the train with the loader there. I'm assuming that'll all work. See those ramps, so let's turn this thing on. Yeah, see, that's what happens when I look down and hit key. So, like I said, sorry about that if it's not sure exactly how annoying it'll be. Oops. I really should rebind that to be the opposite. I do that constantly. Jeez. That's a royal pain when you do that, too. Alright, so let's rotate this thing around. Let's bring the boom down. Let's bring the boom. Let's go forward. Oops. I'm also. Let's bring the boom back up. Let's see what. Yep, there you go. So now let's hit F1 and cut length. Yeah, I guess 8 meters is fine. It's pretty long, but all right, now let's hit the right button. And there we go. So I've practiced this a little bit, and you know, find that with the head tracking, it's certainly, you know, you have limited views, but I guess you do in real life, and I don't know, to me it's pretty, I don't know if it's realistic or not, but I'm trying to drag that guy around this way. Try to make the wood pile a little bit even, you know. You know, I mean, it's definitely easier than trying to do it in cab with just the controller, and you don't really have a good way of looking around, and you know, so I found it much more. You can see, look, every time I look down. So I mean, I'm not sure how this video will turn out. I hope it doesn't, you know, all the camera movement. I'm not totally used to just not moving my head anywhere. You know, you don't think about your head being you know, your head movement so much until you get this head tracking thing, you know, and then all of a sudden it becomes a lot more of an issue. Like I said, try to keep that pile a little bit neat. Makes a big difference when you go to load it. Even if you suck branches right through the cab, huh? So I guess that's the quantity of the wood in there, maybe. See that thing down at the bottom? Yeah, so I'm trying to stay in the same tracks, you know, if you can notice that, and just grab trees and then come back to the same basic position. We'll see how that goes. I don't know if I can grab these over there or not. Let's give it a shot. Kind of far away. Can I extend this guy out? I think he is already extended out. Alright, so let's move that all the way up. And then that all the way down. Now, let's come back for him. later on. We got plenty of trees straight ahead of us that we could just, you know, make a... Oops. Is that not... Alright, let's bring this guy up some. There we go. This guy down some. This guy up some. This guy. We'll get there. Got myself out of whack. There we go. Yeah, so we'll sell some trees. I guess I could fast forward for a little bit and might even cut the video. We'll see how it goes and when I go to edit and all that stuff. But, you know, I'm not sure how exciting this is for you guys to sit here and watch me cut trees for hours on end. I'm not sure how much I get for trees. I never really sold just trees in the last map. Alright guys, here we are at another vehicle. So I am going to see how well this goes. Ooh. Biggest problem being I can't really tell when this thing's level. Like, oops. Yeah. Let's see, is it down on the ground now? Now it is. There you go. So now it's... That should be pretty close there. Can't see the ramp. There it is. You gotta watch out with this loader too, that these things don't fall out, so. Okay. Alright, let's hop out of that. And hop into the train. Oops. Yeah, you can see I was playing around with the crane earlier because I need to move that. I can't say I like the crane overly much because you can't see, you know, like you can see what I was doing when I quit. I think that's coming up. Yep. You just can't see where you're at, you know, like where you're dropping stuff, so. Alright, so now, the other thing I noticed is when you're driving the train, you really can't see. And this is the kind of situation, oops, that I might hop out just real quick. 'Cause you'd have a spotter if it was real life, you know? That's why there's always two guys with the train, pretty much. The engineer and his helper. Alright, so let's see how well this goes. Lower it down a little bit. Roll the bucket forward. Not overly well, huh? Do we have to unload this at the other end, you wonder? Never dealt with the train before. Nice, we can do that right from up here. Okay, well, it works, you know. Yeah, like I said, I think I'm going to hop out of the cab for this. You know, it's just too hard to see. Get that guy lined up. Now I'm turning my head to get the camera to move. I can't even really see with this much better, can I? Come on back. And we got to back up. Might be good. Yeah, it's not so bad. Well, I'll say at least I'm getting them in there, kind of, sort of. Sure, if I worked for the railroad, they wouldn't be too happy with me, but... Alright, I need to take a break for a few minutes. I'll be back. Well, my short break turned into about 12 hours. So, but that's what happens. My team lost at football, and I wasn't too much in the mood for playing. Not because so much because they lost. I just had enough video games this weekend and week between trying to figure out all the track thing. But I'm at it bright and early on Monday morning here. So, what I thought I'd do is finish loading up this wood. I'll probably fast forward through a good chunk of it. I think that almost looked like I knew what I was doing, didn't it? Oh, good, I can pick that guy up. I was a little worried about that. Not that I'd lost sleep over it, but let's go throw him on the train. Can we run with wood? Yeah, we can. That was flashlight, not R, huh? Alright, well, let's hope all the wood makes it. That piece is kind of sitting there precariously, isn't it? Alright, so where do we go? I don't think it's very far. Oh, yeah, look at that piece sticking out. Alright, well, what happened with that one? It's almost, this one's almost like I knew what I was doing. The rest of them, not quite as much. Alright, let's go sell some wood, and then I'll probably call an episode there. So where are we going? Over that way, I think. Now, do we have to unload all of this stuff is the other question. Cool, railroad crossing. Working. Yeah, this definitely has the potential to be a nice map. I kind of wish it wasn't quite so flat, but I imagine some parts of Canada are. Nice slow cruise if you notice. Let's slow down a bit. So we have to unload with this thing, I guess. Let's bring this guy. Alright, that's probably pretty good. Okay, so we got to get the logs in the water. Is that the idea? Alright, one thing I wish, and I don't know what it is. Oh, do we have to unbuckle those? Yeah, I think we might have to unbuckle those, huh? Alright, so let's go back. Yeah, I don't know why my view is, it has me turning my head, which is really annoying. Let me see if I can't. No. See, that's not. Matter of fact, I made it a lot worse. Not sure which one you're supposed to go for. Probably not right where a thing is. Oh, come on. There we go. Pretty good money for that, huh? All right, you know what? Let me pause the video for a second. I don't need this head tracker, and this is like its natural position for some reason. So it's got me turning my head way to the left to try to get it to be in the right position, and then anyway, be back. All right, I had to jump out of the game, and now I have manual control over this. Yeah, for some reason it just points you over this direction, which means you got to turn your head. You don't have to turn it 90 degrees, but then, you know, you got to turn it a good amount. And anyway, here we are. What am I doing? Let's raise this thing up, I think. Go back this way. All right, let me unload this and fast forward, since I don't believe this will be too exciting. Okay, guys, I kind of broke my own rule about what do you? Oop, guess I should have done it this way anyhow. Driving without the thing, but I turned the head tracker off for that project there because just like I said, the center is just not right. So pretty cool that you could pick things up. This always used to be one of my bigger frustrations about the lumbering or forestry. $63 for that. Not too bad for a stick. All right, well, we got 89,000. Oops, can't enter from there, huh? So let's get back in the cab at least. It's not too bad to drive this thing with the controller. And so we'll take this back around, I guess, to our wood pile, huh? Or, well, we don't have a wood pile anymore, to our area that we were working. I'd like to see, before I do wrap up this episode, which is coming extremely shortly, I would like to see what our first farming steps would be. Like I said, we can borrow up to $200,000. I took away the loan debt, so we don't have the normal 75 grand debt. And we just made, what was that? We had like 27,000, so now we made like 62,000. That'll give us some gauge as to what, that much work for the wood, how much we'll have to do. Slow down early. I'm turning my head. It's funny how fast you get used to something different like that. I do like it, it's different, but I do like it. So let's get in our pickup truck and let's look at the fields real quick. We'll get rid of F1. Now, would we go for the little tiny fields? I have no idea how much these cost. But if we didn't go for a tiny field, we'd probably have to go for like a field around 3, 6, or 5. So let's head over there. I think we can get this way. Yeah. So this is another loading area. He's got enough lumbering loading areas, that's for sure. I know this video is going kind of long, but I want to give you guys a bit of a goal before the end of this one, which is, we've moved to Canada. We had a little bit of lumbering equipment, that little issue with leaving dirt tracks on the road here, huh? All right, so these are pretty big fields. Let's just pull over the side of the road and, well, let's go up to 3 and 5. I think 3 might be my best getting started kind of field. How much money would we need for either one of these? $81,000. I think that's what field 1 cost. Oh, this guy didn't put in field values, did he? Yeah. Area 1 hectare, and let's just real quick. So if I want to buy fields, I would have to come up with some kind of measurement and modify the map file to put in the values. Yeah, so that's I don't know what I should set them at. I would think, a field like this in America, where a field like this is not going to cost you a lot of money if it's in some rural backwoods area. That's probably, maybe not, probably an acre for each one of these. Two's a little bit, probably less than that. This might be a little more than an acre, but oh, look, is that a gold nugget in the middle of the field there? Yeah. Would have been hard to see if there was crops, but all right. So I have a gold nugget. But anyway, the if you spent 50,000 on this field, I think that would be pretty reasonable. Maybe 40,000 in this other one. So let's do that. I will measure out each of these fields off camera. Well, maybe I'll even do it on camera. We'll see how it goes. But we'll get the fields measured out and set a value to them, saying that this would be a $50,000 field. 1 acre-ish. We'll even measure it. These are in meters, but I am so mathematically inclined, I could probably even figure out area and do a little conversion to the measurement that I know. I don't even know what a hectare is, to be honest. Anyway. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I will be back for another one, and we'll get the head tracking going again, and we'll do this in, what do you call it? With the head tracker from in-cab largely, other than that crane thing, which just is annoying. Okay, guys. Well, I will talk to you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.